Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Prince John Internet TV. Today I'm going to share with you my most recent realizations. Starting with, don't associate with the opposite sex for dinner and hanging out, etc., because separating brotherhood and sisterhood makes it possible for men and women to really be their different selves, and takes away the element of desire. For example, you wouldn't want to be with your wife and then go and eat dinner with your wife and some friends, because some male friends, because then that would create a sort of stress because of there's a woman there. I don't make what I have the base constituency of what I call family. For instance, just because somebody looks like me or lives near me or has the same car as me, it doesn't mean that I will call them family. People who believe in the light work that I do and eating preferences and relationship standards, I consider family if they're on par with me there. Listen to people who are happy, but consider the subject matter and content they are professing to be experts at. For example, I wouldn't recommend listening to me about financial advice because I'm doing poorly in terms of, managing money. But you might want to listen to me in terms of interpersonal, relationship ideas and so on, especially really enjoying who you are as yourself. And I mean, if you're with me with all this light work and oneness idea of what God is, then hey, we're in the game. We're together here. Now, self-discovery. I am the light. I am God. There is to be no more stress about trying to find out what I want, what John wants, and who is a good match for John, because he may not know I'm speaking about this, my mind in third person, suggesting that I am more than this mind and body. Rather, when I do the light work and visualize it, streaming into people, them holding spheres of light and imagining them smiling, it feels good. And so my hope is and expectation is that this will make it possible for me to really develop myself, and it will allow me to be in the right place at the right time. I mean, I really experience it. You've got to try it for yourself. I feel best when I am exerting creative energy, such as when cleaning or doing my shows. So notice what really makes you feel a sense of satisfaction. It's something nobody else can tell you did good, but rather it's something that you do. I recommend making a Wikipedia account for something that you think needs to be put on Wikipedia. Just a fun idea. I believe every soldier is to be their own, use their own mind to figure out what's going on and, report input to their superiors and have an intention to do the will of, the American people. What is it that they want? Not necessarily the Constitution. Also, I don't need another person to be happy. But what I do need is I need to be in a professional setting, greeted courteously. I'd like to see other people greeting me or smiling. And if it so happens to be that they don't do that, then I'll simply visualize them in my head and see them smiling and create my own world. And the surprising thing is, I found that it feels just as good as if they do it or I just think about it in my head. Don't feel bad if I die or your children or friends die, because the only thing that I believe belongs to me or anyone belongs to anyone is their soulmate. Let's see. I think that most people, once they hear my concepts, they will no longer continue playing, games with, all kinds of just things besides sexuality. They'll stop, just pretending and become really independently strong people. I believe anything dark, such as a weak marriage or a lack of good health, is generally simply a result of not doing light work. Now, if there's a person I feel empathetic towards or upset at, instead of imagining them in my head in that dark state, instead quickly turn the lights on and see them smiling and holding the light. I think it's important for neither people to be in a desperate situation when they're trying to start their soulmate relationship. So in other words, they want each other because of who they are, not because of what they have. I have this regularly occurring thought that I'm less than others because they have more money or a job. But I remind myself that we are all equally as amazing, and with this light, it allows everything, to be activated. All the knowledge and all the willpower and what would you call it, critical thinking skills. It just activates it all. Okay, soldiers, princes, princesses. Would you follow a king? I don't think so. That's let's focus towards a democratic political system where everybody votes on key issues via the internet. And I encourage you to always be skeptical. Ask if there are safety hazards, ask if something could be cleaner, and what could be eliminated from life in order to have more time in the bedroom, such as having one parent watch over a group of children instead of every parent watching their own one or two children. Okay. In other words, let's go beyond battling each other for territory and resources, and learn to compete with ourselves and not feel like we have to beat another person, and start focusing all that energy towards the bedroom. This is a return to the source, to what I describe as true heaven, is being, with your wife or with your husband. So, when talking to other people, you might be compelled to say that, oh, you should try eating, vegetarian diet, or, you should maybe exercise more. But ultimately, I believe that what's the source of the problem? I believe it's just a lack of light work. So ideally, everyone can do this light work, and that way they're not dependent on other people to, you know, help them out in the spiritual way, like the highest way, the most important thing, spirituality. Then comes everything below. What else? Um, okay, so women, this is from Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, the book. Women want their feelings recognized, and men want their work to be recognized. And women like to talk about and express things over, and men prefer to go in their cave and think it over, think a solution over, and then come out. It's important to avoid feeling personally blamed when a partner has a problem. You know, women need to be heard, and men need to be, have space. And remember, women like small, frequent gifts, not just the monthly gift of a man working for a paycheck. They like regular acknowledgments. Before coming up with a solution for women if they have a problem, try listening to their feelings first, because that in its inherently can be the solution, just letting them talk. Also, writing feelings down is a favorable way to deal with anger, and then you can communicate based upon what you wrote down instead of just channeling your anger in the moment. And it helps if there's a third person present to catch couples if they start arguing and they both get emotional, so they can't control. Women, it's good to avoid directly requesting, like instead of could you or can you do something to their husband, ask will you or would you do something, or do you have time, instead of can you do it, because can suggests that whether or not the man could even do it at all. Also, instead of always responding yes or no to answers, also in professional life, not just personal, say you'll think about it, because, like, for instance, I've always been sometimes caught in the moment of, do I want to buy a laptop? And then I'll quickly say yes if it sounds good. But for important decisions, it's good to think about it, I believe. And maybe have an answer the next day. Reveal negative baggage if you have it to your spouse or potential spouse, to see if she really likes you, if that baggage she can deal with. And if feeling any type of bad feeling, bored or angry or lonely, simply label it as bad and do the light work, and soon it should resolve itself. Trying to be happy or find a solution with your own mind, I've found, is not as easily as doing the light work. Alright, 1 second here. How are we doing? Okay. Instead of worrying about how to get a wife, keep going with your own feelings and develop a unique way of living that's just for you. And remember, you could meet her tomorrow, you never know. So don't get caught up in a short-term relationship, because that's only going to keep you away from the long term. So let's keep going with this, guys. Let's to victory, to freedom, to our spouse. Aloha.